Hello and welcome. My name is Carsten Lützen. I'm an Agile coach and Scrum Master. In this video I will talk about working agreements, which is one of the most important things to get in place in a team if you ask me. If you like these videos, please subscribe and share. That would be super awesome. If we look at a working agreement, let's imagine that we have a workflow, the standard to do, doing, done, or to do in progress, done, whatever we call it. For me, a working agreement is what needs to be true for X going to Y, or what needs to be true for going from to do to in progress. What do we need to have in place? Do we need to have the design in place? Do we need to have external dependencies mapped out or whatever? Having these discussions are super important. We can do this in many different ways. Maybe one of the simplest ways is using Conversation Cafe or a 1-2 for all or similar liberating structure. Examples, if we have this to do, doing, done, is the definition of done. That is, when can you move something into done? Things that can go into that can be that it has been accepted by the product owner, it has been tested, it has been reviewed, it has been deployed, whatever. Deployed to test, whatever, right? That can be the definition of done, so a checklist we can go through. It can also be a definition of ready. So when is something ready for us to start work on, to minimize the turnaround time for us, making sure that we have at least the obvious things in place, that we have the design or we have external dependencies or whatever mapped out. You can also play around with having a definition of idea into backlog or whatever we call it, right? So what is the bare minimum that needs to be in place before we have something in the backlog? That's probably where the product owner or product manager had a lot of opinions. You can also have a definition of ready for test or whatever rocks your boat, right? But sometimes fleshing these out, and in the beginning we can follow them quite rigid, and then we can slowly start to see, is this maybe too rigid? Is there something that we don't need? Then remove it, or do we need more? Then we can add it. So don't keep them static, update them along the way. Just to recap, working agreements, super important, especially new teams. You can, from an Agile coach, Scrum Master point of view, see how ambitious are the team when you look at the definition of done, for instance, and the definition of ready. Then you can go in and help them live up to where they set their bar of quality, for instance, where they set their bar of refinement, what needs to be ready. And then have fun with it, play around with it, and remember, update them whenever you see fit. And the team agrees, of course. That's it. I hope that some of you will share how are you using working agreements in your job. And then, as always, comments, questions, ideas and feedback is more than welcome. Have a super awesome day.